Hi everybody, how are you all
Very
doing?
good evening.
Hi everyone, very welcome to another session. Please don't tell us in the chat that I was expecting an Edyst Gyan and I'm not getting an Edyst Gyan session. Many of you have been continuously asking for an English podcast, and while this is not an English podcast, this is an Ask Me Anything session for a very special thing that's coming up. We're launching an Advanced Algos and Data Structures Bootcamp. So we're going to do an Ask Me Anything session in the sense that if you have any doubts, any questions about this new batch that's coming up, you can ask us. We already received a ton of questions from you guys, and so we already have a list of questions that we'll be going through. But in the meanwhile, if you have any specific questions, please let us know on the chat, and we'll answer all of your doubts about this query, about why you should join, what's so special about this batch, and so on. Right. So I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes till everybody joins in. Before that. Before we actually start, let me also introduce Vasu over here. Vasu is also co-founder at Edyst and CEO of Edyst, and we've been mentioning him a long time in the Gyan session. So, hi Vasu, how does it feel to be on the YouTube
Wonderful,
side?
wonderful, Aneeq. And can you believe it that I played two roles at Edyst? One is of being a co-founder along with you and Abhinandan. The other role I play is of a very enthusiastic student of the people on the other end, and I've been a big fan. And I tell you, right, irrespective of what the schedule is, I always catch up with the Gyan. Uh, and of course, you and Abhinandan make it so entertaining, but very informative, so that the point gets driven. And yeah, absolutely looking forward to being on the session. And all the people who are watching, please tell your friends. And if some of the friends are doing some other stuff, bring them in, because Aneeq is going to share some very insightful things about what does it mean to be a programmer who's aspiring to get into top tier companies. He's telling it out of experience, his own experience of being a triple ID student, and also helping and mentoring hundreds of students get into top tier companies. So Aneeq, absolutely looking forward to listening along with a lot of young friends who are going to come online about the insights which you have for their success in their career.
Superb. So, as usual, I'll just take a few comments from the crowd. Let's just say hi. A lot of people are just joined in. So, hi Vittal, our own team member. Hey Vittal, hi. How are you doing? Um, and so somebody's asking. There's another person, Srinivasa Rao. Hi, very good evening. Hey, very good evening, Srinivasa. So glad you could join us. Chaitanya, I remember Chaitanya. He's a student of ours. He is regularly on our is part of one of the colleges that we're working at. So hey Chaitanya, so good to see you. And all right, so we have some questions pertaining to the advanced algo, so we'll come to that one by one. So I think we can start with some of the. Oh, and
Yeah.
Vinay is also here. So hey Vinay, how are you? I'm not sure if this is the same Vinay as our Vinay, but any Vinay is fine, I guess. So hi Vinay, hope you're doing well. Right. Okay.
All right.
Yes. So I think we've
All right.
received a bunch of questions already from students. Let's start with
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, students, I am representing all of you today, all the young learners on things. So I'm on your side, even though I'm on this side of the webinar, but I'll be representing you. So what we did is we went to a bunch of students in our community, and a lot of students came back and asked us some questions that we want answers to this. So we collated a lot of these questions, and I'm going to ask these questions on your behalf. And in spite and despite of our best efforts to explain it as much as we can, if we missed out anything, absolutely feel free to ask us, and Aneeq and I are absolutely here to help you get the right answer or the appropriate answer. All right, Aneeq.
Sure.
First things first. So the much-awaited course, the Advanced Algorithm Data Structures course, while we run it in many colleges as an exclusive program, a lot of demand has come in from students who are not in the colleges where we officially tie up with. The first question, which a lot of students are asking, is what is the eligibility criteria to do this course?
Very nice, very nice. So, who's eligible for this course, right? Let me tell all of you, first of all, very quick introduction. Our Advanced Algos and Data Structures course is for anybody who wants to crack product-based companies. What's the difference between a services company and a product-based company? Very quickly, product companies require a higher level of problem solving because they're working on really complex products. which means that since they require higher level of problem solving, they end up giving you a higher package as well. Then typically in a services based companies, you can get a package roughly between 3 to 4 lakhs per annum. At a product based company, minimum it starts at roughly like about 6-7 lakhs per annum. So it's almost double the starting salary. Who's eligible for this course? Well, we require somebody, or rather this course is great for somebody who's already knows some programming. If you don't even know the basics of hello world, if you're not really sure of how to write loops and arrays, then you're going to have a really difficult time coping up with this course. There is no restriction on the year. If you're in your first year, if you're in second year, third year, fourth year, all of you can apply. In fact, a first year student can also apply. You might be thinking, what use is there for me for a first year student? No, the earlier you prepare for interviews and coding rounds, the better your placement opportunities. So the answer is, any engineering student out there who already knows some programming and wants to go into product based companies, you are eligible for this course.
Okay, so you almost led us into the second most asked question on this, is that if I want to do this course, what level of programming should I know before I even take up this advanced algos course? While it's called an advanced algos, what's the basic entry criteria?
Super. So, most students ask, should I actually know programming or not, right? And yes, you definitely need to know some programming. And let me tell you, it could be in any language. So it could be in C, C++, okay, maybe not C, but C++, Java, or Python. These are the ones I recommend most. A lot of students have already done C++ or C in their first year of college, irrespective of the branches. So they end up actually, taking up, they end up actually knowing those languages. You need to know some programming. What do I mean by some programming? When we teach, the first topic that we're going to teach is arrays and advanced arrays. You should not come to the session not knowing how to access elements in an array, how to take the sum of an elements in an array, how to find the maximum element in an array, how to sort an array. These are things you should know already. You should know the basic programming constructs like for loops, while loops, 2D arrays. These are things that you should already know. Strings, how can I manipulate strings? How can I work with strings? If you don't know these things, you're going to find this course very difficult. So yes, if somebody does not know any programming at all, I would not suggest this course. You should know some programming beforehand. And the programming that I mentioned is this itself. You should know some arrays, some strings, and some loops. You should be able to, do these questions fairly comfortably. And then if you're at that level, we will take you up to the next level of how you can crack product-based companies.
So one very interesting question live, Pratmesh Roth is asking. He's from mechanical engineering. He's asking, is it okay for a mechanical engineer to take up this kind of courses?
Very, very good question. So is this course eligible for mechanical? Pratmesh, thank you so much for that question. Yes, even mechanical engineers can apply. And I'll tell you a really fun story that most product companies actually these days are not even, depending on the size of the company, they're not super into what your eligibility or what your graduation is. For example, companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, they have certain roles. I'm not saying all the roles, but they have certain roles where they actually say, we don't care so much about the degree, but we care more about the skills. This is especially true for startups that are into product-based companies. So, we, as we covered in the last session, we are a Y Combinator funded company, and we know so many other startups around that really care about your skills. If you have the skills, then you can actually get into these companies. So yes, mechanical engineers can also take up this course, and you can definitely also apply for product-based companies. But let me make it very clear, there will always be more roles available to computer science students than there will be for mechanical students in software, because there will still be certain companies that always keep the criteria that you need to have a computer science or you need to have an IT degree. So at that point, you can't really do anything about it. So I would suggest that, yes, don't think that as a mechanical engineer you can't join. There have been EEE engineers, there have been civil engineers, there have been industrial engineers who've cracked product companies, but you will have to work harder because the pool that you're applying for is actually lesser. So yes, you are eligible, but for lesser product-based companies.
Absolutely. And just to add to Aneeq, in fact, a lot of people don't know Aneeq Bhai, as is very famously called on things. He's from the ECE background from IIIT. And a lot of his friends who are in BITS Pilani and IIT, they are in software jobs in the US, and they come from all branches. And especially if you go to IIT Delhi and IIT Bombay, and when these mega companies come, they don't care which branch you are from. They just want to know that how have you done your coding contest or the coding entry points, and then you take it forward from there. All right. So, Aneeq, one of the other questions which we have, and this comes from, I'm going to summarize a context and then give you the question. A lot of people who are passed out in 2018, 19, and 20, there are two kinds of people. One, people are still looking out for a job, and the people who are not yet got into a job. So they're asking, is this course specifically for the current batch, or if I'm from the earlier batches, is this still relevant for me?
Okay. Basically, if you've already graduated, right, or let's say you graduated just like last year, 2020 or so, yes, you can still join. Again, what we're trying to teach everybody here is data structures and algorithms, right? And it's an evergreen subject that even if you learn now and apply 5 years later, it will still be relevant. This is something that's not really going to change in the foreseeable future. I think unless quantum computers or something come in, this is really not going to change. So if you've graduated, if you're already working in a small software firm, if you're working in a services company, all of you can actually take up this course, benefit from it when you inevitably apply for a product-based company. No matter if you're a 5-year experienced, 10-year experience, 20 years experience, if you apply for a product-based company, the first round will be a coding round with these kind of questions, and this will really help you out. Now, what comes after that depends on the role that you're applying for. So the entry point will be this coding round, but let's say you're applying for a web development or an Android development. Obviously, the next round will be based on those kind of skills. But this entry point will be the same for everybody. So I do recommend that even if you've already graduated and you are already working in software, please do take up this course. Now, if you've graduated, you don't have a job at all, you're not really good at programming, I would go back to the previous question and say, no, you shouldn't really take up this course. First, learn the basics of programming, for which also we have the courses. You can check out the description below. You take up one of the basic courses and then come up to a product level company.
In fact, Aneeq, you so beautifully articulated for the benefit of our friends. So we were talking to an HR at one of the top tier companies the other day. So the question we asked is, why are you so focused on people being good at advanced algorithms and data structures? And the beautiful answer this gentleman gave at one of the top tier companies, he said that, Vasu, when we hire people who have good problem solving skills and good programming skills. And once they join, during the course of their career in our company, they will move across different divisions. And when people are moving from one division to another division, we don't ask them, do you have an experience of working? Let's for a Google, you're in the YouTube thing, you're suddenly moved to a search. From a search, you move to an Android, and so on and so forth. Nobody's going to ask you inside the company, do you have experience? They're going to ask you, do you have good problem solving skills? And this gentleman, the HR person who's been with the company, was telling, we hire people with good problem solving skills, and one way for us being a software company to know that they're good at problem solving is through solving problems using programming as a construct.
Yes.
So and Aneeq also raised a very interesting point, saying that if you're already joined in some company and a services company, and you know that you have the potential in you, and why should I be satisfied with a 3.6 or a 4 or a 4.5? And you want to work in challenging environments which give you higher salary, and you're working on cutting edge, this is the kind of a course for you. So, Aneeq, one of the other questions we often get asked is, because this is a very intense course, this is a course where we really need a mentor. Are there going to be live mentors? Is there any live interaction between you and the rest of the people on the batch?
Absolutely. So 1 second. Yeah. So absolutely, there are like live classes, and in fact, that's why we are doing such a launch and telling everybody about it. We absolutely have live classes for this course. In fact, all of the live classes will be taken by me. So all of you YouTube audience who've been listening to our lectures, etc., this is the way of getting a one-on-one live class with me explaining all of these topics. And we have a very small batch size. Actually, it's only 20 people in this batch, and we were always going to maintain something like this. Like at max, let's go to like 40, 50 or so, depending on that. But this batch we're constraining only to 20, and in that 20, you will be one of the few people who can be there on the course and actually ask any questions, etc., that you want to ask in that. we've of that 20, we've already filled up 11 seats. So if you guys want to join in, you better hurry up, because at that 20th we'll actually just stop the enrollments. And yeah, so we have 12 classes here. It's going to be a 3 months course. And let me just pull up the schedule for you. Just give me 1 second. I'll just pull up the schedule right away. 1 second over here. Yeah. So the schedule is also on our course page. So you guys can always go to our course page and check it out in the description below. But just 1 second. I'm just picking up this. Hold on. Yeah. And give me 1 second over here.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so this is the course schedule, everybody. So everything is in 2021. In March 6th is our first, that's the deadline by which you should register. Actually, you should register before that, but that's going to be our first course. And these are all of the topics that we are going to do, that we are going to actually cover in this course. And yes, all of them are covered by me. I'll be delivering a lecture on all of these, and it's an interactive session, right? So, you are going to get to ask me questions. I will repeat as many number of times as you need to. I can vouch, and I think all of our existing Edyst students who are also on our chat right now, please do let everybody else know that until your doubt is cleared, I had never go forward. So while these are going to be 3-hour classes, I'm going to make sure that I will stretch to 4 hours, 5 hours until your doubt is cleared. So we'll make sure we do that. So this is the schedule. Again, you guys don't need to watch it here. You can check it out on the Edyst page as well. This link is in the description below. But the classes are delivered it's not just a bunch of live lectures. It's you get access to 300 plus questions on the Edyst platform. And how can I describe the Edyst platform? It's something that you guys should go and actually experience, because you can code, you can compete with each other, you can reach out to your friends if you have doubts, and we have dedicated mentors for you. If you have any doubts, they will actually help you solve it. They'll point out which is the test case you're missing out on, where is the syntax error you're making, where is the logical error you're making. So our mentors will be there to help you out as well. And apart from these 12 classes, we also help you with interview preparation, resume preparation. I think more of that I'll speak in a future, as the session goes on. But we have all of those, and one of the big specialty of Edyst, doubt clearing sessions. We often schedule free spaces. That is, if there are 12 classes here, we'll actually end up scheduling 6 more classes for you, and these are free spaces where you can come with your doubts. Let's say even if the mentors were not able to solve it, if you still had some very specific doubts, if you did not understand a concept, you can still come to the doubt clearing session, get all of your doubts and concepts cleared over there. So that is how there will be live classes, and that's how we're going to deliver the courses.
Aneeq, I would love you to share what we have built on the platform specifically to address 3 questions which are coming up from both in the private chat. One is that what happens when somebody misses a class which is on 6th of March, which is Intros to Arrays, and what happens to them?
Okay, so if somebody misses any of these classes, there is a recording of these classes available right after the session. So students can just go and check out the recording of the classes at any time. And also, as I said, they can make use of the doubt clearing sessions to, let's say if they saw the recording, but they still had students asked doubts, but they still had one doubt that was probably not answered in the recording. They can still book the doubt clearing sessions to go ahead and ask them. And these recordings are available to you throughout the course. Till you have access to the course, you can keep checking these recordings completely.
Another question in the same line, we're all talking about live and engagement, and I think this section of discussion is all about engaging. So some of the students are asking, all right, I'll watch your live videos, we'll watch the recording if it's missing. A lot of practice is there, and mentors, I believe, are available. But what they're telling is, sir, in a typical lab environment, if I'm going to a college or in a training center, I peer program, I sit next to other people. How can I get that experience on the Edyst platform?
So that same experience is actually what we've replicated on the Edyst platform. There have been times, so I'll tell you exactly what happens when you're online. You not only see the mentors who you can interact with and get your doubts cleared, you also see your friends online. And I've known friends that all get together and code at the same time, because it's much more fun when a friend is coding with you. You get a notification when your friend completed it and you didn't complete it, and now it becomes a competition. Your friend explains you certain questions in a way that probably I could never, because you and your friend have such a great understanding with each other. So that exact environment is replicated on the Edyst platform. And I've even heard students say that sometimes they have much more fun And
Yes.
this is statistically proven as well, that the best students actually spend more time on Edyst than they spend on many social media platforms,
Yes.
because it's just that much more fun on the Edyst platform. So that
Correct.
environment is absolutely created on the Edyst
In
platform.
fact, Aneek, when we finished, I finished work, the last piece of work which I had to finish at almost 12:30 in the night last night, and I could see in one of the cohorts there's still some 6 people on live at 12:30 or 12:45 in the night, and because you and I as co-founders are admins to the thing, and I was just double clicked up and on the chat, and I was asking them, what are you doing? And they said, you know what, we're trying to do something in strings and something like that. But my leading question to the students on the platform, there's 6 of them, I asked one of them, why are you on the platform at almost 12:30 in the night? And the beautiful answer I received is that I'm here because my friends are also here.
Yeah, my friends
So
are also, yeah.
like because we don't force people to do that. College is not keeping a track of you, but why are you on the platform? I think this whole friendly way of coming and peer learning is something which is keeping them on the platform. All right. So one quick question. We'll continuously keep shifting between the questions which we are receiving, or some of the things which I collected. Charan is asked, is there any specific requirement for CGPA when companies come to the campus and they're hiring for people?
All right. So Charan, 1 second. Yeah, is there a particular requirement for CGPA? This depends on company to company. No training institute or no training platform can actually tell you what's the minimum CGPA. I have seen, for example, it always comes up in the news. Companies like Goldman Sachs, Google, Facebook have said that they no longer care about your GPA. All they care about is your performance in the interview rounds. But even this is not fully true, because it again depends on team to team. So within such a big organization like Google, like Facebook, like Microsoft, JP Morgan, whichever you pick up, there will be teams, and team leads have different requirements. So for a different team lead, the GPA might be higher, for another one it'd be lower. So to answer your question, is that there is no particular requirement for a CGPA. There are many companies who don't regard it at all, especially startup product companies. They really don't care, as long as you are good at your skills, which are data structures, algorithms, and then either it could be full stack web development, Android, data science, whichever you're going into. So those companies don't, but there is still a bunch of companies that have this requirement. So there is no minimum requirement there's no universal minimum requirement as such. Unlike the services companies, in services companies you have that 60% requirement, etc. Product companies don't have a standard requirement throughout.
Right. So, Aneek, a lot of people are asking one standard question, and probably we can. And one gentleman is asking, "Tell me how much is the fee, and tell it to me fast." So, any insight on that?
Okay, all right. So, how much fees we have to pay for this one? So, the fees for this entire course is 6,500 rupees. That's the overall fee, and it's actually discounted. And this is, in fact, to make it even easier for students to pay. The students can actually pay it in 3 installments. This is what we've enabled for students to do. So, if you guys want to avail that option, please reach out to us on WhatsApp, and we can do that. Why are we charging this much fee? Is it low? Is it high? That's a different thing altogether. So a lot of people say that we are charging a very low fees. A lot of people say that we're charging very high fees. I think that's going to always be the case. I'll tell you why we are charging this fees, right? And is it low or high? I would leave it up to others to say. I will again bring this back and say that we are not only delivering these classes, which is there, and you get like a one-on-one session with the instructor, that is me. You also get dedicated mentor support. You also get things like interview preparation, resume preparation. We help you with referrals to companies. If you are preparing for a company and you want to get some previously asked questions of that company, we will, and they are not on the Edyst platform, we will specifically find those kind of questions. We will try to train you on those topics. Let's say a company is going to ask you a topic in algos data structures that we have not covered, which is not going to be the case. But let's say that off topic, that 1 or 2 random topics they ask, we will actually do sessions to help you prepare for that. So this entire personalized learning, this entire overall 24/7 all-round support, for that is why we're charging this much. And so that's the story behind the price.
Correct. And I'm kind of seconding Aneek on this, is that so there are courses which are less expensive than this, or mark price lesser than this, and there are courses which are very, very expensive. So our value is always about what we are delivering at this point of time. Very structured program is one. And one of the person the other day was asking, sir, all the questions which all these product companies ask, I can go and Google them. So why do you even have to pay for something which is available? Absolutely. So is the case with the entire Java, entire Python, or any programming language. I'm sure there's hundreds of videos available and questions available. But what really marks this difference is that a structure to a program, a mentor like Aneeq, who's available for the live interactive sessions, and almost a 12-hour mentor support online, that is 9 in the morning till 9 in the evening, where it's almost like telling that when you have a question, we have somebody to answer you, not waiting for you to, or waiting for somebody, for a mentor to come back the next week or the next class. So this kind of a support is what we're doing, and we believe that this is a reasonable price. But yes, different people have different preferences to different kinds of learning. So we've seen a lot of success to the kind of people who need structure, who need a mentor. And last but not the least, what Aneeq was telling is, how do we do the final last leg of the marathon, that is interview preparation, and then helping you actually crack the interview rounds, is where we actually help you with. And we hope that you'll find it useful. So very quickly, Aneeq, we just spoken about resumes and interview preparation. A few other people are asking, please tell us what specific support will we get in resume preparation and interview preparation.
Oh, all right. This is like when it comes to resume and interview preparation, I think just previously Abhinandan and I were covering this in the Gyan session as well. So for resume and interview preparation, I just want to let everybody know that we have seen hundreds, if not thousands of candidates. And right now it's almost, you give me a resume and I'll be able to, including you as well. I'm sure you also have the experience, and same thing with Abhinandan. If we get a resume, we can tell you the exact, within 10 seconds, we can tell you 10 mistakes that you would have most probably made, right? And the reason of that is experience. We have seen the kind of resumes that get selected at product companies. We've seen the kind of resumes that do not get selected. We've seen the kind of resumes that even though your hacker rank, your code chef, your code forces, rank is like really up there, but still didn't get shortlisted simply because you didn't write your resume correctly. So we know what actually needs to go on your resume. After that, we also know how you have to actually prepare for your interview. Now you might think, sir, resume and interview, they seem to be two different things. No, not really. Most people don't realize that what you're going to get asked in your interview is directly coming from your resume. Your interview is going to be a combination of two things: the coding questions that you received in the first round, and probably a new coding question as a problem statement from the interviewer. And whatever you mention in your resume, can you articulate that, and can you answer all of the doubts and questions based on that, right? So this, we have had so much experience, and our students have gone into the best of companies, and we have seen what works, what doesn't work, and what absolutely fails. And so we do this and I think our Edyst students can again vouch, we actually take a resume step by step. We will actually do one whole auditing session with you. Remove this, put this, take this out, make this word better, improve that spelling mistake. And after that session, your resume, you will not recognize your resume, because that's how much we improve it. So we give that kind of support, because at the end of the day, your performance in the interview reflects our performance with you. So we want to make sure you actually get that interview, you clear that job, so that we can also proudly say that Edyst helped you get there.
In fact, Aneeq, I remember the session you did just before at a college, at one of the colleges in Hyderabad, where just before the company came for the final round of discussions, the students had finished the coding round. A set of qualified people were supposed to be interviewed, and you spent an entire day with them doing two things. One is getting the resumes in shape, and second, more important, is when they ask you specific questions about the resume, about your project, about the role in a project. Why did you use this specific tech stack? What is an appropriate way to answer, especially if there are companies, high-end companies, and we could see the results, right? So, So I was just trying to remember where it made so much of a difference to these people, because very, very well articulated answers is what the students were able to give, and it made a lot of difference, and a lot of people got into that company.
Oh no, absolutely. We had the story of two candidates. One is miles better than the other in their code forces rank and hacker rank, profile, etc. The other one did enough to clear the coding round. So it's not like a super in terms of data structures, algorithms, but enough to clear the coding round. This other student, right, had such a great profile and such a great interview preparation done that even though the other student spent all the time on coding prep, that person was not able to get through. The second person was able to get through simply because he knew how to answer that interview. He knew how to actually present his resume. So coding is not everything, and that's why we also don't stop just at coding. We help you with your resume and interview preparation.
Correct. And one question we get often asked is that why is that interview round so important? Companies should just hire me students, very bright young students who are very, very good at coding, and they have great ranks in these competitive programming platforms. They say that company should just hire me for my programming skills. And my friends, the simple answer to this is, when you join any of these big companies, these MNC companies, your teams are going to be a mix of people from all over India, in fact all over the world. So your architect might be sitting in UK, your testing team might be sitting in Ireland, your principal infrastructure people might be sitting in the US, and so on and so forth. How are you going to communicate? So what these interviewers are actually looking for is that when we ask you a certain question, as much as technical competencies is something which you have to demonstrate, your ability to articulate answer to what it is. And of course, it's a lifelong journey to become a very, very good communicator. These companies spend a lot of time in training you, but basic foundational communication clarity and clarity of thought, structuring your thought and answering is something which they're looking for, because when the brightest of a student comes in and he or she is not able to communicate with the team, within the team here or the extended team outside in other development centers, they believe that the best of talent starts to saturate if they're not having good communication skills.
Yeah.
So I think one quick question we have from Souvik Paul, and it kind of ties into saying that, will you guys provide referrals and set interviews for product-based companies after this course?
So glad, Souvik, that you asked this question. Will you guys provide referrals and set interviews? Yes, definitely. So let me answer this in a very detailed and in the best way possible. We do provide referrals, and we have provided referrals in the past, and our alumni are sitting in some of the best companies, and we provided referrals. I would also not kid you, we provided actual referrals to Google as well, because we have certain colleagues who are working in Google, and through them we've been able to refer candidates. Now the entire point here becomes that this course alone will not get you a job in a product-based company, just like one training alone cannot get you that company. What do I mean by that? This course will help you clear the first round, all the coding rounds, all of the technical interviews as well, pertaining to data structures and algorithms. In a product company, though, you need to have an all-round personality. What do you mean by that? Your communication skills need to be good. Your project needs to be really, really good, right? So you're in the sense that there are people going there who are creating clones of Wikipedia, who are creating working clones of Netflix. You cannot go there with a hospital management system, a simple landing page. That won't work out. You need to have a detailed, good project. This project could be in data science, it could be in Android, it could be in full stack web development, whichever, but you need to have one good project, if not two. There are candidates who go with two as well. So if you're going for the best of the best companies, data structures, algorithms is the bare minimum. You need to actually go with a good project as well. Now, does that mean that, oh my God, I have to do both those things? See, the thing is, there are grades of companies. So there are companies who will offer you 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs per annum, who are not expecting the greatest project. They just want to know that you worked in this particular thing and you've also been able to create the data structures, algorithms. The higher the package is, the better the project they expect, and the better the algorithms and data structures knowledge they expect. What this course is going to do is, it's definitely going to help you clear data structures, algorithms, because there's a set finite syllabus for these kind of things, right, for data structures, algorithms. But when it comes to full stack web development or any other projects, this is not the course for that, those kind of things. We have another course for that, so you're most welcome to go and check those things out. But this course, we will definitely provide referrals, provided your profile matches. So if a company is hiring at that time, we refer you to them. we referred you on the basis of your profile. If you're only good at data structure algorithms, if you have zero projects, it becomes very difficult for us to refer you. So that's the detailed answer to this one. Yes, we are always looking out for roles to refer our students into, but it also depends on your profile, and some of that profile is out of the scope for us to do in this course.
Right. Kind of two things we are very keen to do at Edyst is that this is not a training company. This is a career company. So that means the training becomes the foundational step for you to get into a career. So as Aneeq said, that we are always here to help you support. And in fact, there is a dedicated job channel for people who are on the Edyst platform. So if you are a registered Edyst learner, you have a job portal, and on a continuous basis, most relevant jobs are being posted there, and these are curated. When I say curated, that means we have double check, triple check whether it's an authentic company, whether it's a live job, whether it suits people like or who are on the platform. So you don't have to go out and check for 20 other places. Of course, we encourage you to go and check anything in the world, but somebody is doing that job for you of putting the most relevant jobs on the Edyst portal. But as Aneeq so rightly said, knowing which job to apply is one part of it. What is the requirement of job? One of the things is advanced algos, and of course the projects which we talk about. The very leading question to this is, which companies have people joined after they have done Edyst courses? Can you name some?
Okay. In fact, actually, apart from naming, let me actually show you just a select few companies that our alumni have actually joined after taking up this course. So let me just pull that up, and that's here. So as we've shared earlier, our Edyst alumni, after taking up this course, have joined companies like Amazon, Flipkart, ServiceNow, Twilio. Yes, that's right, the Canadian giant Twilio themselves, Zenoti, Hyderabad-based $1 billion company. In fact, I think right now there are about 15 to 17 people from Edyst sitting in Zenoti currently, each with packages ranging from 8 lakhs to 14 lakhs per annum. JP Morgan, again, more than I think 25-30 students sitting in JP Morgan who are Edyst alumni. So these are just some of the well-known brands. Obviously, we have other companies as well which we have placed at a package of about 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs per annum. But I'm not sure if everybody will recognize those brands as well. But these are some of the companies. And yeah, we do have a good track record in the sense that if a student comes, if their profile is right, we'll definitely help them crack. The follow-up question to this is, did we refer to all of them, or did the students get? The answer is, to some of them we have referred. To some of them, students have been able to crack the off-campus jobs themselves, right? So we equip students on how you can crack these coding rounds of these companies as well.
Very relevant. In fact, you kind of read the mind. Pooja Shri is asking a question, Aneeq, and she's asking, in our college, whichever college you're in, Pooja, thank you for asking this question. And this is a very, very unique scenario in most colleges. She's saying that the college doesn't give us opportunities for EC students to sit for product-based companies. All right, let's not debate the thing. What does your college do? What's your opportunity or not? Let's talk about what can be done. Aneeq and I keep talking about it. Let us not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can. And we'll talk about what you can. For people like you who are really aspiring to get into product companies or higher order companies, the foundation is advanced algos data structures. We would love that you would be a part of our community to learn. But otherwise, irrespective of that, knowing advanced algorithm, data structures, and problem solving from a mindset standpoint is most important. Two, you'll realize that there are a lot of companies which we are talking about who have made this a public scenario. It's open. Democracy is at its best when it comes to competency, that you can go and attend these coding rounds, these hackathons which happen, codathons which happen, and so on and so forth. And there, it doesn't matter which college you're from, which is your branch, and with some basic criteria of fulfillment, you can enroll for that. But enrolling for that is not the answer to this to the problem. The answer to the problem is, once you enroll, once you participate in this coding competitions, are you going to be in the top 10 percentile and top 20 percentile? And that's what Aneeq is talking about. You need a structure. You need a program which runs in a certain structure. You need a mentor to support you. And once you clear the coding rounds, the first round, and I know companies which do 2 to 3 coding rounds, and then the technical interviews start. And just before the technical interviews, you need a mentor again like Aneeq. And that is what is the answer to this question. What do I do when my college doesn't let me? You got to be on your own. find ways and means, and we are here to support you in that. Aneeq, one of the questions which a lot of people are asking, you spoken about the price. They want to know, is there a time limit for you? Because you're saying 4 months, 12 classes. What if I don't make it? Is there a validity for this course?
Okay, so the way we actually mark validity on the Edyst platform is that you get access to our 12 classes for sure. And from the time of purchase for up to a year, you can come to the platform and ask anything at any time. Our mentors will be there, obviously, during the day 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So our mentors will be there to help you. So even after our classes are over, as I mentioned, we will also schedule some doubt clearing sessions depending on the pace of the batch. And you can always ask the mentors any particular question that you want to ask for a period of 1 year. After a year, your access kind of gets removed from that. If you want to extend further, then just reach out and we can work out something in that sense. For the most students, we generally extend about 6 months, a year. Again, depending on, let's say you're in your third year, you really need it for your placement prep, we just extend the course a little bit further as well. We can do that on case by case basis, but the standard is 1 year validity from the date of your purchase.
And Aneeq, nothing. Some people on the chat were telling that, oh, these are marketing guys. They're trying to sell. There's our good friend Arindam Chakraborty. All right, guys, this is the validation, and if you think that we are still marketing after this, thank you so much, Arindam. And Arindam is this gentleman who's very, very keenly following Aneeq, and of course he's put in a lot of hard work and to get a PPO for a system engineer specialist with Hack with Info at Infosys. These are the kind of success stories which we want to talk about. And we didn't invite Arindam to come and say nice things about us, but this is a validation to tell three things. One, you need a good mentor, and that's what Aneeq and Abhinandan are all about. Two, you need a structure in the program, and the structure is modified and it's curated after every batch. We teach you what it takes you to crack these companies. The most relevant thing. Last but not the least, you need support. Support go through all the way from learning the basics all the way to the interview rounds. And Arindam, wonderful for you to have come on to the chat and talk about nice things. We wish you a very, very good success. And Hack with Info is not an easy.
Absolutely not. Hack with Info is one of the most difficult. You guys can actually go on YouTube, Hack with Info, and you will find that the most viewed videos are actually from Edyst, simply because it is quite a difficult test. Infosys ends up asking questions that are at the level of product companies, and that's why they end up paying also at the level of product companies. So it's not it's not an easy test at all. In fact, this time around, what the Hack with Info round 2 did was, you submit the questions and we won't tell you how many test cases you've passed. That is such a it's a different mindset to be in as a student, because you have to be so confident on your code. Yes, you have to have practiced it so many times, because you submitted it and you're not really sure if all the test cases passed, some of them gets passed or not. So it's a very difficult thing. And I remember Arindam actually from our YouTube live sessions, from our marathon sessions. Thanks, Arindam, for the kind words, and wishing you all the best in your career. Keep dropping by on the Edyst YouTube videos and on the Edyst channels, on Edyst.com as well. Love to always hear from our alumni for these kind of things.
A couple of quick questions, and then we'll see if we have anything more. One of the questions they're asking, and in fact, quite a few on the chat on the YouTube, they're asking that if I take up this advanced algorithms and data structures course, which has a structure, which has a validity, which has a mentorship, will I be able to crack the TCS, Wipro, Infosys, and the kind of national qualifiers which are going to happen?
Oh, okay, absolutely. So, in a very short answer, yes, you will be able to crack all of these qualifiers coding questions. Okay, and I just want to make that very clear. As I've already told you, our the questions that we have. 1 second, I think I just messed up something. Hold on. As I've already mentioned, that our alumni are working at companies like these, which have 10 times more difficult questions than any of TCS, Wipro, Infosys national qualifiers, which means any time more difficult questions than, let's say, TCS NQT, Wipro Elite, InfyTQ. Like, the questions that these companies ask is 10 times harder. So definitely the coding questions you will crack really easily. Now, the other issue that comes up in all of these national qualifiers is that each one of them have programming MCQs and aptitude questions. And funnily enough, the aptitude questions actually have a really high cutoff. So you actually need to take a specialist aptitude training for these national qualifier tests. So if you want to take up advanced algos, you can definitely clear the coding questions for sure. Many programming MCQs you will clear. What you will not be able to clear are things like the aptitude rounds of these companies. But if you've done advanced algos, picking up aptitude from anywhere should really not be that difficult. You've already stretched your brain so much, picking up aptitude is not that difficult as such.
Okay. So one of the other leading questions to this is, while Edyst runs a very specialized advanced algos course, do you run courses for these other things? And if yes, have people made it into Code Vita or any of the other qualifiers earlier in the last year or this year?
So if somebody's aim is only and only to crack Code Vita or only to crack InfyTQ or NQT, then we have specialized courses for those, and those are at a lesser cost because they're only specifically for that national qualifier. And for all of these national qualifiers, I think our numbers are really, really great. Like, just to give an example of Code Vita, I'm just waiting for this year's Code Vita, because last year's Code Vita, just in the states of AP and Telangana alone, every sixth student, so 1/6 of the students who cracked Code Vita round 1 were Edyst students. So that's roughly about 16% of 2 entire states were Edyst students. Roughly about 1,000 students in these 2 states were Edyst students who were able to crack Code Vita. So those are our success stories in Code Vita. Similar success stories in NQT, Wipro Elite, InfyTQ. We had a similar thing in InfyTQ as well, where about 20% or so of the students were Edyst graduates themselves. So we have specialist courses for those. You can check those out. Those are also mentioned in the description below.
Yeah. So kind of, so when I'm looking at a lot of questions coming up, Aneeq, it's from a summary standpoint, people want to hear once again, and hopefully we don't sound marketing. We are not talking about the greatest and being the only company in the. So what they want to hear, Aneeq, is what makes Edyst different from, well, as a student, I have many choices. Why should I come to Edyst? So what's special about Edyst?
Okay. There are many things special about Edyst, and I'll be very honest. This advanced algos and data structures, there are so many people offering this. I, as a student myself, would be confused, right? Because there are hundreds of platforms out there offering. Everybody claims to say, seems to claim that we have you do this and you'll get into Google, do this and you'll get into Facebook and all of that. One thing I'll tell you that makes Edyst special is we always keep the student in mind, right from our co-founding team to the entire employees to the way the entire platform is designed. It's designed for you. Our success is in your success, right? Till you are successful, we will keep toiling behind you. And you can ask this of any student. What makes us, this is the spirit that makes us special. The other thing that makes us special is the kind of features that we have. So if you're stuck anytime, there are mentors there to help you out. There are live classes which you get one-on-one with me, and which have no time limit. We initially set a time limit of 3 hours, but let's say in case you need to take it up to 4 hours, 5 hours, we continue even that. So that is one thing that's special. The other thing is, as part of this course, you also get job referrals. If your profile is good enough, you'll get interview preparation, resume preparation. So all of this is included as part of this course.
Wonderful. So Aneeq, a leading question to this is that when somebody was asking, when I start a program like this, and if I find it very, very difficult, what advice do you have for me?
All right. If somebody is finding it really difficult for this kind of a course, that there could be like multiple reasons for that, but one of the reasons is that things like your basics of programming is already not correct, right? So one thing we could do is, like, let's say for example we start with advanced arrays and you're not really getting it, right? And you're not able to understand it. We will actually help you understand some of those basics, and if we find out that you're not even able to clear even those basics, then we can have a discussion and probably transfer you to some of our basic courses, like either the basics of Python or the basics of Java, so that you learn enough, and then we can come and get you back to the advanced algos course as well, right? So that's the kind of support we can offer you. Again, our solution will not be, oh, you should have known Python, why don't you know Python? We will not leave you there. We'll try to guide you to getting to get you to actual Python and Java. So that's what we are actually going to do.
All right. Kind of winding up on here, and one odd question which came on this is that uh, this course, the entire advanced algorithm data structures, is all oriented towards higher order companies or product companies and so on and so forth. Somebody is very interestingly asked, what is the big insight that you have gained after training so many students? What are the must do, couple of to do things and couple of do not do things when you're preparing for product based, aspiring for product based companies?
So if you're really aspiring for product-based companies, I think you should not shortchange your conceptual understanding. That's number one. Because what most people don't seem to understand is, yes, I am telling you most of the questions are available online. Like you're definitely going to get all of these questions available online. But how you're supposed to think about these questions is the main thing. Like in our education system, we think that I have these 20 questions. I have to know the answers to these 20 questions. No, in these kind of interviews, you need to know how to answer each of these, and specifically what's the thought process for me to go to those things. So what we are trying to teach you here is not how to just get just like the answer of a specific question, but we're trying to teach you a thought process. That's what we're trying to introduce to you over here. And don't shortchange that. Don't try to find a shortcut. If you're trying to aim for product companies, be it through us, be it through any other platform, try to focus your all on understanding those problem solving concepts, because those same problem solving concepts are going to come up when you join a company. And so don't treat this as just as an interview preparation, just trying to get through the courses. You're actually trying to learn a problem solving ability that you can actually use in the job process. So that's the major thing that I would say from a product point of view, that don't take shortcuts, learn the actual problem solving ability.
Aneeq, we have one of the Edyst alumni. I'm very, very happy. Sriram Pentakota is here. He's an Edyst alumni. Hi, Sriram. So wonderful to have you here. And Sriram is an alumni of the Advanced Algorithms Data Structures program. Especially mentored by Aneeq, and Sriram is in a wonderful company now. Aneeq, you need to tell a little bit about Sriram's trajectory of being a very passionate person where he could realize his potential. You need to tell the story of Sriram.
This is what I want to tell to everybody over here, that we are very glad to have students like Sriram. And for any student like him, or I'll just explain. Like for example, Sriram is from not the topmost college in his region, and we have many such students like this who are really passionate towards learning, but probably are not in the best of the colleges, and because of that don't get access to the best of the companies. But what Sriram did was, he was always passionate on the Edyst platform. As he's saying, it helps create an interest towards learning. I would also say that he was so passionate about learning as well, that every new topic or every new lecture that we would bring up with, he would take up with the utmost sincerity, and he would complete that. And he trusted the process, that I just need to keep practicing day by day, month by month. I need to keep improving my coding ability. And so we saw him improve. We helped him with an internship to learn full stack web development as well, because we saw that his data structures and algorithms are really great. But to get into a product company, your full stack web development also really needs to be good. So we saw him get into a full stack development internship as well. And post that, after he was done with both these things, we helped him, referred him to a company a product level company with a really good package as well. So many stories like Sriram, and he will always remember alumni like him. Thanks so much for dropping in, Sriram.
Thank you, Sriram. And one thing about Sriram, and this is a good problem to have, we say, is that Sriram got through Infosys, the higher order package at Infosys, and then after that, he didn't stop the learning curve. He continued to be on the Advanced Algorithms Data Structures course. He said, I'm very happy that I got a great company like Infosys. Can I see if I have potential for more? And he continued to learn, and then he had the next offer from a Y Combinator incubated funded company, and now he works there. So it's like a journey where how far can you go depends on what your mindset is all about. Sriram could have very beautifully said, no, I'm very happy with this Infosys offer. I'll just go and be happy, because it's a phenomenal company, the Infosys, as a starter for again. But he said, I want to do more. And thank you so much, Sriram, for coming in. And even after this, well, we don't have to take the names. There are some people, Aneeq, who feel that our course is priced high. high. And we want to be very polite and very humble about this fact. We believe that we have appropriately priced our course, because we have mentors like Aneeq, a solid platform, and a platform where there are mentors available for 12 hours in a day. So which other platform do you think would be offering that kind of a support? And last but not the least, the last mile is so important: the resume preparation, the interview preparation. And it's not just one but multiple times. We will never say, hey, we help you with one interview, we are done with you. Because our credibility or our high is not because you joined the course, it is when you get a job. So we want our happiness, our high comes in when somebody like Shriram comes here and says, thank you so much for what we're doing. So we are in that domain of why we set up Edyst is we want to be that company which is making a genuine difference, making an impact for young students like you to get into companies, and they're kind of being not necessarily having the right kind of information, the right mentorship, the right structure, and that's what we all bought together. With that, if you have any questions or any parting remarks, Aneeq, while the students are all eager to start the batch, and a lot of people, and as Aneeq said, we are limiting this batch to 20. That is it. If you miss this, the students, you will have to wait for the next batch to start. We want to do a very, very quality, high quality, intensity, high intensive preparation, and make sure that all of you people who join this course end up in good companies. Some referred by us, some referred by your own colleges, and off campus, on campus. But our job ends when you say that we got placed. So with that, Aneeq, any parting remarks for our good friends?
No, that's mainly it. We love working with students, and we've seen all sorts of students, and absolutely. I mean, some people might find it, too much. Some people might find it too less. That's up to you. I just hope you go through each of the questions once again. If you just joined in right now, please go through all of the questions. See, the answers are sufficient, and if you still have any more doubts or queries, do reach out to us. This is our email. You can reach out to us for any queries, and you can WhatsApp us on this number as well. So yeah, do reach out to us for that one. And yeah, that's also mainly it from my side. The last parting words would be focus on the process. Try to upskill your thought process on how to solve problems, be it through whichever platform, be it through Edyst, be it through you solve all of these questions yourself and you are able to upgrade. I'll be the happiest person. The entire message I want you all to get is, there are ways to upskill your thought process on problem solving. We are offering you one such way. So try to be in that way, and try to create that thing. Don't just solve questions for the sake of solving them. Solve them to upgrade your thought process, and the placements will follow for sure in these best of these companies.
Absolutely. And if you believe that you need to taste, you need to experience before you make a commitment, there are two commitments. One is the time and effort commitment. Second is the financial commitment. You want to experience this, please, we encourage everybody, go on to edyst.com. Check out the free playground. We call it the playground, where a certain set of questions, certain set of videos you get, and you can in fact ask mentors while you're still on the playground. You don't have to pay anything. While you're still experiencing the playground, you can ask mentors any kind of questions which you have. Please go on to edyst.com and sign up for that playground on the Edyst Advanced Algorithm Data Structures program. And if you still have any questions, as Aneeq says, we're always here. You don't have to pay to get an answer, but as long as you have a question which you think we can answer and we have an answer to that, we'll very, very quickly come back and respond to that, team at edyst.com. So with that, wishing you all the very, very best, and we look forward to all those enthusiastic people to come on to the batch which is starting on the 6th of March, and looking forward to you interacting with Aneeq and being with you in the journey, right from the foundational part of the advanced algos all the way till you get a job. And we will celebrate along with you when you get not offer but multiple offers at the end of this program. Thank you so much, and have a very, very good evening, and stay safe.
Thanks everybody. Have a really good weekend. All right. Thank you so much.